now that the fixings are all secured here and here, and the screws are running vertical, not horizontal, you finished with the top part. And now we can move on to making the tie rod. Okay? To make the tie rod, we're going to need 2 tie rod pieces here. Okay? And what we're going to do is take a screw like this and screw it in to where it's in about halfway. Okay? About half. You want it about so it's even going in both tie rod pieces. Okay? So we can make one tie rod. Alright? Now we'll secure this one on there. Now that both pieces are secured, you're going to want to just work both of them towards each other. And just keep tightening it all the way to where they meet each other right in the middle. Just like that. And I have one single tie rod piece. Okay? And after that, you're going to want to take 2 of these screws with the holes in the end and put them both on each end of the tie rod. But before you do that, you should put a nut on each one of them. Alright, so it secures the piece. Just make sure it's all the way on there, just like that. And the same with this one as well. You're going to want to make sure the nut is on there. Alright, so it secures the piece onto the tie rod. Alright, now that you have the nut on there, you can tighten the screw onto the tie rod, just like this. Alright, you're going to want it nice and in there. Alright, and just keep moving the nut because the nut's going to keep moving down as you move this one. Just keep moving it down all the way to about there. Alright, you're going to want it just right about there. Alright, not all the way in, just right about there. And you want the same with this one. And just make sure they're right about the same. And you want to put this on this end as well. And just like with the last piece, screw it all the way in. Not all the way in, but pretty close. Just like the other piece, you want it about the same. Alright? And you want to make sure you keep adjusting the nut all the way down, just like that. You want to make sure both are just right about the same, just like that. And make sure that they're going to be running the same direction like that. So once you have your tie rod assembled, you're going to want to attach it to the base. You're going to want to attach it to the host. Alright? To do that, you're going to want to be able to run it along here and here. So right here and right here is where you're going to attach it. So to be able to attach it, you're going to need an L bracket, and you're going to want to set that up right here, and then a regular bracket, and you're going to be setting that up right here. Alright? So first, you're going to need one of these screws as well as a little holder piece right here. Okay? You're going to set that up right on the screw, just like this. Okay? First, you're going to want to run it through the bracket. Alright? So you can put it in there just like that, and then put the screw in. But don't tighten it all the way. Alright? You need a little bit of space. Alright? And you're going to put that one there, right on, just like that. Alright? You're going to do the same thing with another screw. And you're going to grab another holder piece, and you're just going to screw it on, just like that. Alright? Make sure they're both nice and even. Alright? And you're going to want this back side right here facing out. So, just like with the other horizontal screws, you're going to want them going in horizontal. Okay? So they fit right into that lip. And then you're going to want to put them in so they're facing vertical. Alright? Just like that. So it sits there and rests right on it. And make sure they're tight on there. Alright? So they sit on there just like that. Alright? And tight on there. Alright? Just like that. And like that. Alright? So the L bracket is on there now. Alright? Next, you're going to want just the regular bracket. Alright? And if we're going left to right, right here, my left and right, we have the first hole, the second hole, and the third hole. Okay? So this is the far away hole, first hole, and then we have the second hole, and then we have the smaller hole right here. Alright? We're going to do the same thing with the L bracket that we did. And do the same thing with the L bracket here, right? So right here and right here. So the first and the second hole is where we're going to want the screws. We're going to grab the holder pieces again and screw them in, but not all the way, just a little, and screw them in just like that. Just like that on there, not right on there, just like that. Not too tight, all right? And make sure they're running horizontal so they can go into that lip right here. You want to make sure they're horizontal, just like this. And you have your third hole right out here. Make them so they're horizontal and line them up with this lip. And you're just going to place them right there. Alright? Right there, right on there. Alright? And just tighten it just a little bit, not too much. Just a little, just like that. Alright? Make sure it's nice and snug on there. Just like that. Snug on there. And now, we're going to take our tie bracket, tie pull right here, and we have the long screws, 2 long screws right here that are going to go through the holes right here. We're going to go through and attach just like this, alright? Right into there, like this. You can just run them through, just simple, just right through into the hole. Make sure you're running it clockwise right in there, just like that. You're going to do the same thing. If you can adjust it, same thing. Right there, going down to the bottom. So make sure you move the bolt so it's out of the way. You're going to do the same thing right here, down at the bottom. Take the long screw and line it up with the hole. Make sure it's lined up with that hole down there. Nice and lined up right down there. You have to do a little bit of adjustment. You're going to make sure it's nice and tight on there on both ends. Nice and tight on there. Alright? And then you're going to make sure the nuts here on the ends are all nice and secured. Alright? You're going to make sure they're nice and secured on both ends, okay? Make sure they're both nice and tight and snug, as well as check the pole at the end. Check both sides and make sure it's nice and tight on there, okay? Now that you make sure that both tie rods are nice and tight and secure on there, you can move on to your next step, alright? Your next step is going to involve 2 switches, okay? So this switch, which has the plug-in right here on the front, is going to be the plug-in right here on the front, you can see it right here, is going to go on the left side, okay? And then this one with the plug-in on the back is going to go on the right side, okay? So, now that you see these screws that we've been working with the entire time, you're going to want them going to be running, this time, to be running vertical, okay? Right here onto the lip, okay? And to tighten them on to the Z guide. Make sure they're tight and secure on there. Just like that. Just like that. Alright? And then you're going to have 2 connections right here, both with Z's on them. One is small and one is big. Okay? You're going to take the small Z connection and attach it right to the switch we just installed right in here. Okay? Just right in there, like that. Plug it in, right there. And then you're going to take the big one, the big Z connection, and you're going to plug it into the Z motor. Just like that. Should go right in. Alright? You have both the connections in there. Alright? Then you're going to take the second switch, which goes to the left side, and do exactly what you did before with the first one. Okay? And you're going to put it on there, make sure it's going vertical, just like that. Place it on there, and then you're going to get this. And now that you have the switch nice and tight on the Z-axis guide, you take this out, take the same connections as before, small one and a big one. Take the small one and you place it into right there. It just goes right in, alright? And then you take the big one and you're going to run it to the motor. Now the motor is going to be underneath the base right here, alright? It's going to be underneath, and you're just going to have to get in there and plug it in just like that, okay? Now that you have that plugged in, you're going to have 3 plugins here in the back, okay? You have a filament detector, you have the X plugin, and you have the E plugin. So first, the filament detector is going to go, if I rotate this around, the filament detector is going to go right here. So here's the filament detector. It'll go right in here. Right there. Just like that. And easy. Alright? And this is the E and this is the X. So we have the E cord and we'll plug it in right there. It'll go right in just like that. And then we take the X cord and we plug it in right there into the X. Just as simple as 1, 2, 3. Just like that. Alright? And the last step to assembling your pyramid 3D printer is this little thing right here. This cover. And it's going to go right onto here. It's just going to slide right on. Alright? And you're going to have 2 little tiny screws right here. You make sure it's lined up with the hole. Just like that. Now that you have both of these little screws nice and tight, we can take this filament plug and the last and final step, place it right in there. And now you have assembled your 3D printer, the Pyramid 3D printer. Thank you for watching 2Auto's video.